talked about IPCity, I talked about tools for the commons, and over here I'm going to talk about network school. So all these network states and network societies movement that we have nowadays, it all started with this book from Balaji. So he published that in July of 2022. And soon after, Vitalik started the pop-up cities movement. So everything kind of started to move on 2022. And we had many talks about that on the conference, but I noticed two things. First, for the ones that are starting now, very few people came to the basics of the network states movement. And on the other side, we also didn't have time to go deeper on discussions about that, about these important things that make a network school happen, a network state happen. So I hope to deliver that over here. So the first thing, what do we have as a legacy? We have nation states. We have this map that we learned at school that's all divided among different countries. The countries, the main structure is land. So I live in Brazil, I am a Brazilian, and you have in the map this this space which we call Brazil. I don't know how it is it's doing some noises here, but what's the idea in a network society? Nowadays we live, I live in an apartment, and basically I don't know my neighbor. I don't know the name of my neighbor. I have no affinity with my neighbor. I probably don't have the same beliefs as my neighbor. And we probably don't share political views. And we have all these elections that are won 51 against 49% votes. So people are basically divided on their opinions. But we share a land, so we have to share a government in the usual way this is understood. But is there a new way? We have new technologies. Why are we doing things like 300 years ago? We have new technology. Maybe we have a different way to do that. Because now, why do I don't know my neighbor? Because I don't share affinity with my neighbor. But I have many online friends. Like we were doing talks and we were discussing all this. We were organizing IPCity. I was in Campinas. Jean was in Curitiba, and people were all around. But we share this common desire of building something. So why is not this why I can get these people and create my network society, my state, right? Even if people are all around, even if we don't share the same physical location. So Balaji in his book has put a very good definition on that. And every little sentence here has a lot of power. And we are going to discuss that. And I want to go deep in that, okay? Some people showed that to you, but I don't think we had the time to go deep into that. So, and also, I'll put the different stages. We have network startups in the beginning. We have network societies when these things grow, and some other concepts that I'm going to present to you. And in the end, we could have a network state. What would be a network state? It would be really a state in the sense of a country like Brazil, but you think, oh, we will never, it will take forever to get to a level of a state like Brazil. But if you think that Andorra is a recognized state, the Vatican is a recognized state, so you don't need a lot of people. Maybe you need a lot of money, but you don't need a lot of people to have a state. It's not like, oh, you need millions of people. Most countries have less than 10 million people. Many countries have less than 1 million people. So it's not a thing of being big. It's something of being, of having the ability to create your own laws and to be sovereign. So a network state is a social network. And what's the difference between a network state or a network society in this sense, if we didn't get to the end, and a community? Some influencers can have millions of followers in the internet, but they can't get 50 people to plant a tree or whatever. Why? Because they don't have a capacity for collective action. So we are creating communities. Of course, it's really good to have a very big social account. But in the end, if we want a network society, we want people to be able to act. So we need a social network, yes, like in like in our Facebook or Instagram. It's a community, but it has more than that. It has capacity for collective action. And how do you put people together? By shared interests. So we are here because we are techno-optimists, because we want a different society. This is a sort of a moral innovation, not in a religious sense, but actually religions are very good places for us to study and to understand how successful communities grow, because religions are huge communities that lasted for thousands of years. So of course, we should look at religions and see what they did right? But you need, anyway, you need a moral innovation. You need to put people together on a shared and common interest. Yeah, and they should have to get to the end. They should have a sense of national consciousness, a sense of being together for a network society, of being part of the same thing. And here, there's something that Balaji inserted, a recognized founder. Crypto bros around, do you see a problem here? Do you see a problem? Full centralization, right? This is the single point of failure of any network society by this definition. And actually, the project we are doing together with Zcash guys is a way to allow for emergent leadership in an organized way, so that of course, you need a recognized founder, in the sense that in the beginning, it's nice to have you need some powerful people to put things going. Balaji, I'm not saying Balaji was wrong to write it here. It's very difficult to solve this equation without this variable, without the recognized founder. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. So that's why we should try to create structures that allow for emergent leadership to to have governance power. We have Velocracy project, which helps with that as well. Anonymity is important in that because, I mean, network school, everybody knows that Balaji is the boss there. So maybe somebody could, of course, Balaji is not someone that can be easily targeted, but in a small community, somebody could be, the leader of this community could be easily targeted and would be a single point of failure.
Because you looked into this, I was thinking, is this ever been done historically? Has there ever been like a community that was born in an emergent way without a leader? I mean, you can say also, for example, Bitcoin is kind of emerged as a leader, you don't know who the leader is. Right? So I think about churches and universities and monasteries, right? All of them, they do have kind of a leader, which is the head of the church. So they all lead somehow to the leader. And I cannot think of any historical example where something was emergent without a leader. So, have you seen an example like this, or this would be one of the moral innovations you're talking about?
This could be a moral innovation, but I'm not saying that you can't do that. You can do that without a leader, because actually you even would need organization roles that could be elected or could be earned by governance power. So you need leadership. There are decentralized leadership movements around. There are some interesting books talking about that, but obviously it's not the most common way. I can't say it's impossible. Probably religions were born collectively, like you can think about these native peoples' religions. They were born on thousands of years of different people contributing. So we are used in the Western countries to religions that were founded by a person, but that's not necessarily everywhere. And society is the same, right? They could be, like, it could be a bunch of people together creating something that generates an influx. But I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a leader in the beginning, but in time, this is a single point of failure. and it should be addressed because even leaders can get tired of their projects and want to move on. So what's left of the community?
Yeah, I think it's good to separate like the leader, the founder leader, with the boss, for example, doing the so as Valerie said, Satoshi is the recognized leader, but he created an architect, a framework where it works in a decentralized way. So I think that's a good way to put it. And I think the founder for startup society is I think the part that is really difficult to solve is the bootstrap. It's very difficult to bootstrap something without the leader like pushing and doing all the crazy stuff because maybe like a religions you have like some external idea like external force or a god or something that people lead it's still the leader but for projects and that is long term, that is difficult, and that needs evangelized. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it's very difficult to bootstrap. Once you bootstrap that, and I think it's the next step is like, how can we make sure that it's decentralized or decentralized as possible as we have as much decentralization as we get.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Yeah, sure. So the thing is, what we want is not something that is beautiful theoretically. We want something that works. So if it works to have a founder in the beginning, that's nice. But having a very powerful founder at some point can be a point of failure. So it would be good, even if this community was born with a powerful leader, that it has some way to allow for emergent leadership to arise. And also, like in Zcash, there was a discussion in X these days, like, oh, who is Zcash CEO? They were playing, oh, let's call Zcash CEO. There's no Zcash CEO. Like, of course, you have Zuko, you have Eli, you have people that created this thing, but they not necessarily own the thing. So if you think about Zcash ethos, it's impossible to be in like, okay, we have a recognized powerful founder and the CEO of Zcash. That's impossible for them. So they need to create something else. And even though they are totally aligned with that, and Balaji always supported Zcash, so they need something different. And that's what we are trying to build. But let's go on here. In-person level of civility, we are here at IP City, we are treating each other very well, we are friendly, we are nice with each other. This is important for a society, right? And integrated cryptocurrency is very interesting because Balaji from the start he said cryptocurrency is important because as we don't have borders to secure, what do we have? We have money, we have resources, we have our internet or online capital. And if this wants to be sovereign, you need this cryptography barrier, and our money has to be sovereign so that it can't be confiscated by the existing states. So you need an integrated cryptocurrency, consensual government. But you see, even though there's a recognized founder, there's a consensual government. So he was not, Balaji was not saying, oh, this should be a dictatorship. It's not that, but this is something to be thought about. Social smart contract. So you join, you say, okay, I want to be part of IP City. So I signed a contract. I want to be part of network school. I sign a contract. Archipelago of crowd-funded physical territory. So I think I'll talk about that later because I'll show the different steps because this definition is for a network state. So it mixes things that are important in the beginning with things that are important in the end. But what's this archipelago? Maybe IP City. Okay, we are here focused on Jurerê. We are here in Floripa. But in the future, IP City grows and people are living all over the world. So maybe we want to have a chapter in Russia. We want to have a chapter in England. We want to have a chapter in the US. So what do we do? So what do? We connect everybody with our crypto and encrypted infrastructure so that we can have these hubs all around, or even people living alone in their places, but we are connected by some online structure. And then these little hubs can grow and they can become, and maybe in the future we can do IP City, IP Village in New York, because there's a big IP City chapter over there. So this is important to have this archipelago to go to transcend this territory, but to say, okay, we have people in New York, we have people elsewhere, we have people in Buenos Aires. Virtual population, income, real estate. So in time, we could start investing in the real world, like Founder's House. This house was acquired. So now it's a fully sovereign infrastructure for Web3 here in Jurerê. So it's important to have real estate. It's not like that is not important, but you go internet first, land last. So when you have a community that's powerful enough to buy real estate, then you put everybody together and you acquire real estate. And when there gets to a point where you can prove that, let's say, 1 million people. So if you think 1 million people communities, we have influencers here that have 1 million followers. So it's not like impossible to have 1 million people, to get to 1 million people. And imagine that these 1 million people are making money because the society is so economically active. And at some point you have money enough to go and talk with the existing states and say, well, I would like to be more sovereign. I'm here to help, to contribute, but I would like to be sovereign. Would you help me? And I can help you with these economic advantages and all. Maybe you can buy an island. Maybe you can go to a very small state and make some agreement over there. And then all of a sudden, you might arrive to a sovereign state. So as you can see, I try to talk a bit about that because I think we didn't go that deep, and now we can understand better. And so this is the archipelago thing, right? I took these images from the book, Balaji's book, right? And I'll talk a little bit about this book later. So imagine you can get a population for this network state of 1,700,000 people. These people have an annual income of $150 billion. So, I mean, this is bigger than many states that already exist and are recognized. And you have more than 100 million square meters of land that was acquired. So, man, this is powerful. This could be a powerful nation as long as it's recognized. And as you can see, there's people in Tokyo, people in Mumbai, people in Sao Paulo. So this, in the future, this could be possible, right? Of course. Yeah.
Is it the goal or like one of
This is to show what it could be.
one way of doing it?
Yeah, like imagine you have this community of 2 million people, which is reasonable in a sense of a community, but maybe not easy in the sense of this collective action. But if you have a powerful enough moral innovation and a powerful enough structure, you could grow to this reality at some point.
But how about the part of having a sovereign land, peaceful land? Isn't that also a part of the concept or the definition of the land state?
Yes. So there are two kinds of things. Balaji likes to say that when they ask about network school, he says, we are not a network state. We are very friendly with Malaysia. Malaysia is a really good place for us. We don't want to take land from Malaysia. So he says that network school is like Chinatown is to China, network school is to the network state. What does he mean? China doesn't own Chinatown, but it's some land where there's Chinese culture, Chinese language, Chinese food, Chinese everything, and is very well connected with the host nation. So in this sense, you could get to, in terms of being inside the cities of the current networks, of the current nation states. But at some point, well, if you have more than 100 billion of annual income, maybe you can buy an island somewhere, right? And then you can say, oh, now there's China, not only Chinatown. And maybe the annual meeting can be there, right? So this is to show that it could happen. Not that this is easy. This is not easy. And that's why I think Jean told me that once, that he doesn't like to use all the time the network state to say this, because we are so far away from that. Maybe it's better to say network societies, because this is what we can build now. But this is a possible future, and I need to change the configure. But that's possible. You could get there. This is a less than 2 million people community. Not impossible. Okay? Yeah. So, what comes? Okay, you have a network startup, a little network society, but then you grow a bit and you get to a network union. And Balaji says that network school is in the step of network union because they have a permanent position over there. And it's not like a social network where everybody's connected and it's all messy. As you see, here there's a shared purpose and a clear leadership. So there's a leadership structure that can make things happen. So that's important. It's structured, it's organized. Maybe you don't need a single point on top, but anyway, it's organized, it's structured. And this, in this network union tree, you can get things going. There comes, okay, our effort now will be to buy a house like this. Okay, then this starts moving everybody. From people who just came, people who are there from the beginning. And this capacity for collective action can allow you for defense or for offense. Okay, you have this network archipelago all over the world, and things become bad in Venezuela. Okay, Venezuela, things become bad, or in suddenly Dubai, there's a problem. I don't know. Not to say that countries are good or bad. Even in great countries, you can have regulatory crackdowns. So maybe things become a problem in Canada. I don't know. What do our Canadian citizens can do? Well, they are protected. They are protected by our zero knowledge proofs. They are protected by our encryption. They are protected by our safety. Nobody can take their money. And we can help. People from other countries can help. Oh, let's help you with legal counseling. So there can be a shared defense, collective bargaining, protection from cancellation, deplatforming, purchasing power. You can purchase structures, so not when somebody tries to take them from you. And of course, you can crowdfund public goods. You can go forward. Open source projects, building physical nodes. And here's the evolution ladder I told. So I think I already explained that, but startup society, bunch of people getting together, but this is more than a simple community. This is some people that really go there and make things happen. We move all over the world and we come here to Floripa to be here. So this is collective action. Network archipelago, this starts to spread around and share this power around. And maybe we get to some point, okay, these guys are really powerful, they have money, and actually they aggregate lots of value. Look how good this is for Malaysia. Malaysia, like I'm giving you an example. Let's say that network school grows a lot, and Malaysia starts attracting lots of brains and very smart people, and there start to be new business founded there. So then Malaysia says, wow, it's really good to have these guys around. Maybe we can give them some more freedom so that they bring more people here and more economic value. And then suddenly, wow, you have one place recognize you. You just need all the other ones, but you can keep going like that. Yeah, so roadmap to create your own startup society. Found a startup society, opt-in community, legitimacy from followers, start growing. Organize this into a network union, collective action, put these people to work for the common grounds, for the moral innovation. Build trust offline, bring people here to the real world together so that they can become friends and build things together. Crowdfund physical nodes, buy a house, buy apartments, buy a co-working. Start to make to leave your footprints. Digitally connect them with Web3 passports. We are seeing some of these projects emerging here. So passports, let's have a true citizenship in platform. On-chain consensus. Let's protect privacy of people, but you can get, in aggregate, look how much money our residents generate, our businesses generate. And at some point, gain diplomatic recognition, which would be amazing. Very difficult though, not saying this is easy. Yeah, we talked about that. The moral innovation is really important so that people can be together for a cause, whatever this cause is. And something that Balaji says, and many people say, is that what we want is not one huge network state community, but a million different network state community. Maybe there is the community of people that are atheistic, community of very conservative religious people, of healthy people, of unhealthy people, of tech bros, of... Let's have lots of options so that people can choose. This is good. And everybody can live together with people that they are aligned. The archipelago that we talked, on-chain consensus, and social smart contracts. So I think this is enough for this part of the presentation. I would like to talk a little to you about Network School. I was going to, let me see if I fix the internet problem here. I don't know if I, yeah, I think this should be. Yeah, I think I was connected in this one. It would be good because I want to show you Balaji's book. That's not what I want. Oh, yeah, it's working. Okay, so no, maybe not. Yeah. So guys, this book is really a good read. And actually, there's a hack for you to read it easily, because this book is from 2022. And most of the chapters here are Balaji's political views, which are really cool, but it's kind of outdated. So maybe it's better for the political part for you to get some recent 1.5 hours podcast that Balaji has given and see what he thinks about stuff right now, because so many things changed. And you can read the preamble, the chapter 1, and chapter 5. That's from nation states to network states. So that's a hack that you can read this book really easily. It's free online, thenetworkstate.com. So I believe it is a very good read. Of course, if you can read it all, it's nice. You can listen to it as well, of course. So it's a good read, but he'll be talking 2022 stuff, and word is crazy, you know. It's like 2 months. When you see news from 2 months ago, it looked like very old stuff. So maybe this is not needed. And you can go for the podcast, and his podcasts are really good, by the way.
I have a question. Balaji told us some parts of the book about taxes in that kind of network schools. So citizens have to pay half or European that at least some amount of your revenue, because if you now don't know that, it's like nation, religion, all of that goes also because we take some part of the money of the people.
Yeah,
the way to maintain the time.
Yeah. For now, I mean, you pay for your residency. They call themselves society at Network School. They call themselves society as a service. So they actually are creating a business on top of that. And I mean, so they are not like a hotel that provides a room and breakfast. So they provide everything. They provide full course meals. I mean, you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you have gym, you have personal trainer creating activities for the people there. So I stayed there for a month in January, and basically I only spent money with laundry, which was $6 a week, and coffee because I could have free coffee elsewhere. So, I mean, that's all I spent in 1 month being there. So you pay a monthly fee. It's kind of subsidized nowadays. I'm not really, I'm pretty sure they are not in a profit. Yeah, yeah. In the business, I'll get there. So now for a network state, obviously they would have some sort of taxes on top of businesses to be maintained. Network School doesn't have that yet. I don't know if they have plans for that. But actually they have support for startups. So you can apply for $100,000 scholarship over there to build your business. The only thing they are, of course, they are very selective and they will ask for you to move there, but you can have funding. So actually they are even giving more to the community because that's how you start. That's a marketing investment, right? They want to get more people there. But I'm pretty sure that the model they are doing, if they have a lot of people, it will be profitable. And they are building thinking about that. But nowadays it's not. Okay, any more questions, guys? I'm just showing you some pictures. This is the hall of the hotel. Okay. You can stay there for 1,500 USD to share a room with somebody, or $3,000 to be alone in a hotel room. I'll show you. It's a luxury hotel, but you have everything except laundry. So, and if you use my coupon, by the way, I can get you a discount and I get benefits as well. So you can pay, I think, is 1,100 to share and 2,200 to be alone, which is pretty good. And this is always fun. Yeah, cool. Yeah, and so this is the hotel lobby. It's really nice, and in the back there is Network School Cafe. So there is where I spend most of the cafe money talking with people. They have different meals as well, because sometimes you get tired of the meals they provide every day, so you can ask for some good meals over there. And this is the hotel room. It's a luxury hotel. It's cool, really cool. And they also have a co-working that's a 10-minute walk from the hotel. So you can have a nice walk and go to a place to work. It's pretty cool. This is Forest City, this place. So this was actually a real estate opportunity. This was a Chinese project that was kind of flopped because they built this island and they built all these buildings and much more than that. I mean, it's huge. This thing is huge. They created the island from scratch and built the buildings, but some sort of crisis happened and they couldn't sell this. The pandemic, yeah. So I mean, they couldn't sell that. So it was. Balaji says that when they arrived at it, looked like those old West movies, you know, the tumbleweed running. But nowadays, sometimes people say that's an abandoned island because it's cool in the social network. But nowadays there are many families, there are shops around, so you can. I mean, there are some decent shops and restaurants around. If you want good stuff, you need to go to the city. Yeah. Let's go back to the basics. So this is in Malaysia, but the city is called Johor Bahru. It's the neighboring city of Malaysia from Singapore. So you are actually a 1 hour ride from the center of Singapore. So you're basically in Singapore, but you are living in a much cheaper place. Many people work in Singapore and live there. So it's common place to do that because it's much cheaper. And sometimes there's traffic because you do a crossing between countries. It's kind of boring. It's not very fast. But still, if you go in a good timing, 1 hour you are in the center of Singapore. So they got some very cheap real estate over there. Balaji is like looking at these cheap real estate opportunities in the world. They are thinking about expanding. So yeah, they look for these things. And if you are a long-termer, you can have an apartment, one of those apartments, and live there. Instead of just sharing a hotel room, you can share an apartment where you have your own bathroom. It's much more comfortable, but you need to be long-termer to be, for that to be.
Apartment in one of those towers, or in the apartment
Yeah.
below, the house below.
Yeah, those towers are really far away, so they usually don't sell these ones, or don't offer these ones to the residents because they want you to be near the hotel and the co-working. But here I'm in the hotel, so those towers are very far away.
Okay, you're in the
Yeah, I was in the hotel. This is in front of the hotel at night. Very nice views. There's this big building, it's basically empty. There are some offices there. Yeah, so as you can see, it's a very beautiful place. Sadly, the sea is kind of near some ports over there. It's not like, oh, I'm going to swim in the sea. Some people were brave enough, but I wasn't, and I'm not planning to be.
No, there's crocodiles.
Crocodile. There's a legend. There's a legend, but I don't know. I haven't seen any evidence on that. What I've seen over there. Oh, I've seen a labubu there. That's very dangerous. So that's to say, you are really in Asia. That's so cool. And besides the dangerous labubu, there are the crows as well. But the only thing they do is to steal your breakfast. So be careful with your breakfast because they steal it. Yeah, this is the hotel. And this is the swimming pool of the hotel. So it's cool. There are games. Some very cool people are hanging around over there. So you have activities, and yeah, and you do exercises. This look like a huge plate, but it's only 5 kilos. But it's beautiful for the yeah. But you can exercise, and I actually was exercising every single day, so really cool. And you have talks. So this is January, and people were using OpenClaw, like OpenClaw, no, the cloud code like crazy. And in the end of the month, people were already talking about OpenClaw. I have one since January. So you get up to date. You don't need to go elsewhere for the cool activities. The cool activities come to you, which is really nice and helps for the vibes as well. So just a couple of pictures. I will not be talking, questions about that.
What is the total population there right now?
They are telling me some 400 people. Yeah, so it looks like it's very crowded there. This is I talked about many things here. This is just my Twitter because I thought it was easier. You can ask me for the code, for the discount. You can ask me for the book. You can ask me extra questions. And basically, I was going to talk about my project with Zcash, but I think that's too much for the morning. So I'll talk some other day about that. So I think I would like to open for questions.
Yeah, I think there's a small note. It's really interesting that you separate like the network school and network state because Balazs heads works like that. So it has like crazy plans and like very abstract and the things that he idealized, his envisions, and then there is, and this is the crazy mind Balazs, and then there is the entrepreneur Balazs. So entrepreneur Balazs is building network school, which is the community that you pay and you get services. So there's and both are really interesting to understand. But if you are planning to build a community, you need to be very pragmatic and doing. And for example, there's not many things in crypto there. Like there's payment you can do, but it's not like very hardcore. In crypto, is not even close to have collective action, for example. So it's not something that he's like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. I'm pretty sure he's planning to do at some point, but he's very pragmatic and he make the business work and have money and deliver very, very simple things, which is good food, gym, exercise, and a nice place to be, and smart people. So he's very he curates really well the people that are coming. So there's a big list to go there. So that's why it's like it's very difficult to build good things in the real world. We are not like just to keep a house running is like there's 1,000 things happening and it's not affordable. So it's good to have like the idea more broadly, but if you want to build something, you need to think more like details, food, and this kind of thing. So I think this is a good distinction between the these two ideas.
Yeah, and when you get there, Palagi himself explains the project. He does many talks for us, and he explained it a network school as a business. He has business ideas on that, and he wants that to be profitable. His next endeavor, so to say, as an entrepreneur. So, of course, having a big business around that will foster the network state movement, but he's not like, oh, I'll do a network state at all costs. No, he's building a business, and that might allow to create a network state on the rise.
I think a good way to look at is also, for example, if you think about Amazon. Like, if you talk to Jeff Bezos at the early stage, if you describe Amazon as like this insane global infrastructure and logistics, you have hubs around the world and many offices and this crazy platforms and AWS and this kind of thing. People are like, oh, okay, just insane guy. But at the beginning, Amazon is just a page, just a post, and it's very easy to understand that. Okay. And actually, it was not that easy because you need to explain the internet and all this kind. It was very early, but it was simple. And then over time, like for 1 decade, 2 decades, you start building, and then the project becomes more complex as you evolve. So I think that's it. That's the problem. That's the issue with the network state book because he's explaining the current Amazon life. So it's very complicated. And it's like hard to understand these abstract ideas and see how this is going to play out. So a good meta model is like I'm building Amazon in the 90s, just selling goods. So yeah, like IPE is like we have community, we got people, we run workshops, we have a crypto layer, we are planting the seeds and building infrastructure for the future, but it's not not crazy. It's like a community with physical places, social layer in crypto, AI, and then we over time we are going to expand and evolve, be more confident.
Yeah.
That's it.
And something about network school is that Balaji always says that it's frontier, not fancy, which means that they are building the frontier. You go there. I mean, I'm moving there as a long termer in 2 weeks from now. So but I stayed there for 1 month to see the vibes. I mean, it's a great place to lock in. I think if you want to have a very good, healthy, and healthy over there you can as well. But if you want to have a nice, cool, live in a cool place, maybe Floripa is better. You know, if you can really go to the beach, then you come back, then you work a lot here. It's great. It's amazing. Maybe you can do it better here. But like for me, I live in Campinas, São Paulo, and I'm like, oh no, I have to take my car to go to the gym. I take my car to have lunch. At night I open my fridge and I remember that I forgot to go to the supermarket and I don't have food and I have to ask for unhealthy iFood. So over there, things are sorted out for you and you can lock in and you will work like crazy and you'll meet some cool people and whatever. I think the good thing there is to do a test drive, go there for 1 month, see if you like it, come back, think about the subject. That's what I did. And then if you really like it, you can move there permanently. But I think it's a good place to go. In October, there's the Network State Conference and also Token 2049. So maybe if you go in October, you can go for the conference as well. And if you go there, I'll be there. So yeah.
We'll share the slides.
Okay, it's just very simple notebook LM slides, but I can. Okay. Yeah, well, my notebook LM followed my instructions, and he has good taste. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Can I do a picture with you guys? Just,
Yeah, from there here,
yeah.
you know, come together. There you go. Bruno's already on position. Come.
Come.
This is going to be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
We got everybody.
Okay.
Come back.
One more.
Hey, Jorge.
Hey. Thank you so much, guys.
Right. I'm gonna get one more. I'm gonna ask you guys 5 more minutes patience. We forgot one project pitch, so come very quick. He was hiding in the corner.
Just
Let's
say
say
goodbye.
bye to Valerio.
Yes.
Collective bye to Valerio. Put your finger here. We're gonna miss Valerio, but he's gonna be back next year.
You're the right way. I think everybody.
Bom, mano.
Curtiu?
Muito bom. Eu adoro esse tema, acho fascinante.
Estava faltando um deep dive,
É
assim,
um dos
né?
temas que mais me inspirou nos últimos 10 anos.
Porque eu vi as palestras, todo mundo passava, mas ninguém aprofundava. Aí eu falei, hey, man.
Good luck for Electro School.
Thank you. We keep in touch.
See you soon next time, man. Nice to meet you, man.
See you around.
See you around, guys. É, exatamente.
You go all the way to Italy to drink Brazilian coffee.
Porque são conceitos diferentes, assim, que levam tempo
Guys,
para
we're gonna do
entender,
a
para
quick
incorporar e começar a imaginar como que vai ser
He
esse
didn't
novo mundo,
announce
essa
much
nova
because he
forma
wanted
de
to go to
civilização,
work.
né?
Com certeza, cara. A gente tem que pensar no futuro. Tem
We're gonna
que
have
pensar no
fun
futuro,
and work.
testar as coisas.
Exatamente. Porque a gente tem um ambiente perfeito.
Galera, bora! O último pitch do dia dele, libera todo mundo pra almoçar. 5 minutos. Em português, em português.
Português ou espanhol? Eles vão com português.
Portugal.
Bora. Galera, bom dia, é um prazer estar com vocês aqui, tá? Eu vim aqui para participar do Recife para poder desenvolver uma plataforma, uma solução focada para cidades do mundo inteiro, mas principalmente no Brasil. Nós somos um país subdesenvolvido, então nós temos muito problema de corrupção da prefeitura, né? Eu não consigo ver uma cidade do futuro sem um planejamento financeiro estruturado, sem um planejamento anticorrupção estruturado para alocar melhores os recursos, né, da prefeitura, do país e realmente fazer uma cidade do futuro. Então, qual que é a minha ideia aqui, né? Foi um projeto que a gente desenvolveu já faz umas 2 semanas num evento de lá em Santa Catarina, na Universidade Federal aqui em Floripa. E aí a ideia é a gente criar, né, um mecanismo onde a gente vai controlar toda a saída da verba do Estado, né, e vamos maquiar todo esse roadmap até chegar no destino do dinheiro. Por exemplo, né, lá sai do Estado o dinheiro para a cidade, né, 300 milhões de reais. Esse dinheiro ele tem que sair via smart contract e também via blockchain, para saber por que saiu esse dinheiro, para onde vai esse dinheiro e como vai ser usado esse dinheiro. Automaticamente, a prefeitura ela vai utilizar esse dinheiro em algumas obras públicas, né? Então, via smart contract, sai de novo o dinheiro da prefeitura para saber aonde a gente vai usar, qual obra pública vai ser usado, qual a qualidade disso aqui, né? Então, todo mundo que se envolver com dinheiro no Estado teria uma wallet, né? E seria rastreado o dinheiro e só sairia o dinheiro dessa wallet mediante aprovação do smart contract ou para a função exata do smart contract, né? Então, a gente tem várias abas aqui para a gente poder monitorar isso, para a gente poder monitorar a circulação de dinheiro, né, transparente entre a prefeitura. E o mais legal, dentro da plataforma, tem uma inteligência artificial que fica rodando os smart contracts para ver se não tem nenhuma anomalia, não tem nenhum super price, né? Um preço que extrapola, alguma coisa assim,
ou para ver se o dinheiro está sendo entregado. E é uma plataforma pública, onde todos os cidadãos, né, podem verificar todos os smart contracts e ver se está sendo bem entregado o dinheiro, para onde está sendo o dinheiro. Então, resumindo, a minha proposta, né, eu vou trabalhar melhor nela, eu vim aqui para Floripa para 3 semanas só para trabalhar em cima dela, né? Então, eu quero entregar ela até dia 1º de maio, eu vim com uma arquiteta aqui, né? E a nossa proposta é entregar uma solução que, plugada em qualquer prefeitura do Brasil, poderia controlar e deixar transparente todo o dinheiro que é publicado, para a gente acabar com a corrupção e poder investir em projetos, tecnologia, educação, segurança, que é o que importa no cidade do futuro. Né? Então, basicamente, quem fica atrás desse projeto, a gente pode dar ideias, tá? Mas é um projeto usando blockchain e IA para a gente acabar com a corrupção, né? no Brasil, nas cidades. Né? Tá bom? Obrigado, pessoal.
Perguntas? Before
Questions
in English or Portuguese?
Yeah, question in English. What is it about?
No, essa tecnologia, some guy do some respect, which will the government expenses, and then it was like really good. So people were checking all these expenses, and the government shut down. This is too much transparency. Actually, they publish all the expense of it was in Barcelona. But it's like in a strange way, you have to check all the PDFs and all that. You have to do the AI and really can ask in a wrong language, then they shoot down. Even like too much. But, I think it's
They should tell the project or the project?
the website.
Okay.
What is that? Yeah, so
They didn't copy and put a new one?
I think that
They were afraid.
yeah, that is, you know, like for that I think that it's kind of really important. They will
Do you
use
know them?
they will use AI to control us, and we need to use AI to control them also. You know.
Do you know them?
The
Founder?
founder, I
Can you share in the group? Maybe we can reach out. Você entendeu? Quer que traduza? Então, na Espanha, um grupo fez uma plataforma bem parecida com o que você está querendo fazer, começou a dar muito certo, e o governo tirou o site do ar.
Esse
Que era muita transparência.
Exato, é o perigo. Quando eu fiz isso aqui, já tinham me falado desse alerta, né? Que poderia acontecer isso, mas mesmo assim, eu acho que projetos assim são projetos que realmente vão impactar, né, a cidade do futuro. Nós estamos falando de tecidos, né? Ideias para a cidade do futuro. Vocês querem morar numa cidade onde todo mundo rouba o dinheiro de vocês? Onde você contribui ali todos os meses e o dinheiro não é empregado? Não, né? Então, uma cidade do futuro, né? Eu acho que começa pela transparência da gestão pública, né? Então, eu sei que
a gente vai pegar o contato da pessoa e daí passar para você perguntar em contato.
Perfeito. Então tá. E aí no Brasil acontece o quê? Acontece o canal da transparência, né? Que é todas as licitações ficam transparentes. Mas só que lá tem muita licitação frauduleira. Então, uma maneira de a gente fiscalizar é pegar a API desse canal da transparência, conectar aqui e uma IA revisar todas essas licitações para tentar identificar quais são as fraudulentas, né? Por exemplo, assim, a IA já está treinada para dar red flags e yellow flags. Por exemplo, uma empresa de 4 meses de existência recebe um projeto de 30 milhões, red flags. O que está acontecendo? Uma empresa só de 4 meses recebendo um projeto de 30 milhões.
Não, tem coisa muito pior, viu?
Não, mas já é um começo.
Sim,
de
não, é
E aí tudo bem que a plataforma às vezes não tem tanto sucesso. Mas se isso ficar na boca pública e o pessoal começa a ir para as redes sociais, para a internet, falar e seja mais um banco de dados para eles poderem, né, opinar com uma certeza grande, né? Então, eu espero que um projeto desse possa impactar. E eu posso terminar.
Hoje tem tecnologia para descentralizar até o host, dá para colocar os dados mais centralizados e o host também, parte da URL, tem formas de manter
mais segura para não cair.
mais resiliente para ficar mais difícil de
Não, porque depois que você terminar, você coloca e já não é mais seu.
Acho que é isso que você está falando, né? Até se quando você for discutindo, se já não quiser ter mais nada a ver com isso, ele já existe sozinho.
Uhum.
Esse que eu.
Porque realmente é um dangerous project, né? É um projeto perigoso, mas de alto impacto, né?
Muito show. Então tá, obrigada. Oficialmente, now we're officially done. Enjoy, stay at the house. At 2 p.m. we see you guys at the AI house for the workshop. Okay? With some music.
Hey guys, one more thing. This week we'll have like 1 or 2 workshops a day, and it's kind of overwhelming. And it's feel free if you just want to log in and just pick one that speakers and go. And don't feel the pressure of attending all the workshops.
They will also be recorded, right?
Yeah, it's going to be recorded. So if you want to log in and work.
Make sure always check if it's a good one and
Yeah,
try to
yeah.
be there if it's interested to you.
Yeah.
But not
Otherwise,
mandatory.
it's too overwhelming
But we want to go.
Also, you guys can stay at the house. You guys can
Yeah.
stay at the house. Our house is open until 6, right? So also, if you want more quiet time, there's privacy house. If you want more like the chill.
So I think
Yeah,
it's the opposite.
our house.
I think it's the opposite. Yeah, not the quiet one.
No, the workshop's gonna be there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
I always
I'm
go
saying-
to the opposite.
Like, where the workshop is, it's gonna be more loud.
Oh, yeah.
If you wanna be quiet, you go to practice. Here is always kind of busy.
Yeah.
Right, so here is, I mean, there's that room there is more quiet, and there's one that you at the time, but. You guys really want to, right, you just go the opposite of the workshop. But I know I can do that, you know.